I'm really drunk as the Dickens right now. Christmas drunk, actually. Do you ever, yeah, of course we drink when we mention Christmas. I don't know the rules to your game.
Pack your stupid friends into your stupid car. Don't get a DUI, you know who you are. Tonight you are not going to another stupid bar, that would be lame. It's time for Brew Haha, the drinking game comedy show. Drink when the light flashes. Brew Haha, the drinking game comedy show. Let's get drunk off our asses. We're gonna LOL at Brew Haha. We're gonna LOL tonight.
Yes! Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Brew Haha, the comedy show drinking game. How y'all feeling tonight?
Are you guys ready for tonight?
No. I'm nervous. Can you tell? I'm not normally nervous for the show. Usually I'm confident, I'm cool, I'm the guy. I go up there and I'm like, hey, what's up, guys? You're partying in my backyard. But this time, there's cameras, there's more people.
But are you excited for tonight's show?
I'm so excited.
So excited for tonight's show. Fucking stoked.
For those of you who haven't been here before, we start Brew Haha with some traditions. The first tradition is I tell stories from previous parties. Guys, last party had one of my favorite stories of all time. Somebody at the party postmated some alcohol to be at the party. They postmate some alcohol to be at the party, right? The postmate shows up and tries to look for this person. They cannot find the person. So the postmate just stayed and drank all of the booze. It was one of the coolest things we've ever had happen. Was anybody in the front yard last month? And so that just, of course, the people who weren't here early enough to get seats. That dude was tight though, right? Cool. Confirmed. Confirmed he was tight. One of my favorite things that's ever happened at the show happened not too long ago. Happened this past year, and it was a dude broke our toilet. I was chilling in the kitchen, I heard a loud crash, and later I found out that loud crash was because somebody got so drunk that they fell off the toilet, and they brought the toilet with them. Like the seat came off, the lid came off, water was actually squirting everywhere. But from inside the kitchen, I just heard a loud crash, and from inside the bathroom, I just hear this dude say, "Oh, Damien, you've done it again." How many toilets do you have to break where you come up with your own catchphrase? Fuck yeah. Are you guys ready to help us make some more memories tonight? Are you guys ready to help us make some more memories tonight? Ladies and gentlemen of Brew Haha, let me explain to you how this drinking game works. We have two simultaneous drinking games. One for you, the audience, and one for the comics. For you, the audience, we've created a drinking game that goes along with stand-up comedy. Anytime this sign lights up, you guys take a drink. It'll fuck them up. It'll be awesome. They will stumble. It's going to be so fun. For the comics, they will be getting progressively drunker throughout the show. Also, they will be chugging at the top of their set for as many seconds as rules as the previous comic broke. So if I'm comic number 3 and comic number 2 has broken 8 rules, I will chug for 8 seconds at the top of my set. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, for your drinking game rules for tonight, I'm turning it over to our rule master, Marissa.
What's up, guys? Number 1, whenever a comic talks, funny voice or sings. Number 2, whenever a comic talks about a relationship, past or present. And number 3, whenever a comic talks about drugs or alcohol. Number 4, whenever a comic talks about politics. Ooh. Number 5, whenever a comic talks to somebody in the audience. And number 6, whenever a comic tries to figure out what the rules are. Cool?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, let's do it.
Are we going to do an audience rule or no?
Let's get one. We'll get an audience rule.
Okay, let's get an audience rule. Who has an idea for a rule? Genitals? Genitals it is.
Talks about their genitals? I love it.
Round of applause for Marissa, our rule master. Turning over to Jimmy the bartender for the bartender's toast. Jimmy the bartender, everyone.
Hey, hey, hey. Blessed be to Dionysus. Glad you all could come and join us. You made your way and brought a friend too, so have a laugh and grab a brew. As I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I take a look at my life and realize there's nothing left. But next time, tell your friends. Bring your mom and pa. I hereby sanction this Brew Haha.
Are you ready for this Brew Haha to start in principle? Guys, this first comic is a Brew Haha legend. Oh my God, she is so fucking funny. Make as much noise as you can for Debra DiGiovanni!
Everyone here knows what they're in for, and they're thrilled to be here. It's like they all got like a secret invite, and everyone's like glad to be invited. They're gonna be loaded. going for Brad. Look at him. Look at him. The bite-sized man. Are you kidding? Look at him. It's an appetizer. I love you. Say this to you people right now. I'm an old woman. I'm an old goat. I can't tell you legally how old I am in Los Angeles because they will chase me out of the city. They're like, over 30, burn her, witch. But here's the thing. I am an old woman, but I look much younger than I am. Like, if I was to tell you my real age, you would all be like, stop, Debra, you look so young. That's what you would say. Get ready to say that. But here's the thing. Here's the thing. The only reason I look young is because I'm fat. That is the only reason. It fills in the lines. Are you kidding me? All you idiots wasting money on Botox, this is fucking cheese right here. Look at it. $8.99 a block, dum-dums. Look at this face. Cherubic face. Are you kidding? You know what I mean? Oh, I'm gonna die soon, for sure. But I am gonna look good. Are you kidding me? Did she die as a baby? Was she a baby when she died? Makes it a better story. Here's something else. I got catcalled the other day. I was on the street for 5 minutes and I got catcalled. It was real cats, though. Deborah was like, I got you. We played for a bit. It was fun. But here's the thing. Cats are not stupid. They know I'm the leader. Do you know what I mean? They're like, let's follow the big one. She's covered with crumbs. They're not dumb. They're not dumb. But I'll tell you this. I don't want anyone to be catcalled. I want all women to feel safe and equal every minute of their life. But listen to me now when I tell you this. The day that catcalling ends, that's a cold fucking day. Do you know what I'm saying? You walk by a group of men and it's silent. Oh, it hurts your heart. It hurts your heart. I would do anything to be demeaned right now. Do you know what I mean? It just debase me a little bit. I just want this. I just want this. Is he following me? I just shut up. Fear is hot. Fuck you people. Fear is hot. Gets your blood up. Is he gonna chase me? Oh no! Come on. That is. Please don't chase me after the show. Don't. I have a bad knee. Oh, why did I tell you that? That makes it easy. Another thing that terrifies me: people that sleep naked. Who sleeps naked? Round of applause. You sleep. Oh, you're champions. Let me tell you this. You are a hero if you sleep naked. Anything can happen in the middle of the night. And you're very vulnerable. Let's say you're in bed naked and the house sets on fire. Now what do? Smarter no pants. I mean, seriously. You're in bed very, very vulnerable. Okay, now, I do not sleep naked. Number one, you're welcome. Feel free to drop by. But number two, everyone, I'll tell you this. The reason I don't sleep naked, you gotta go with me on this. The reason I don't sleep naked is because I'm scared something is gonna crawl into me. Now listen to me on this. Listen. It's because I watch a lot of horror movies, and then I fall with pornography right after. That is a terrible combination. You're not getting 8 hours after that. There's no way. That is your night terrors. Pornography is scary, though, now. Can we admit that? Do you remember? None of you are old enough, but do you remember when porn used to be gentle and nice? They would order a pizza. That's what they did in the olden days. You could not fuck until there was pizza. Do you know what I'm saying? And I was into it, I'm not gonna lie. I'm telling you, watching the ordering of the pizza was almost enough. Do you know what I'm talking about? I was like, double cheese? I'm aroused. Do you know what I mean? I'm gonna watch this. And then the man that delivers the pizza, he's young, he's muscular. The woman who ordered the pizza, she has no money to pay for it. Oh no. What is she gonna do? She figures out a way to pay the man. Do you know what I'm saying? Using the barter system, if you know what I mean. But here's the thing. Once the pizza's arrived, I turn the movie off, because once the pizza's arrived, so have I. Do you know what I'm saying? Just smoke a cigarette. Did you see that? It was acting. LA's changed me. But I'll say this. In the olden days, they used to use a feather as a tool of seduction as well. Seriously, there'd be a moment where in the movie the man would be like, all right, time to get sexy with my woman. And he would get a feather out from, I don't know where he found it. Like on the ground, like out of his pocket, like a damp feather. Let me just say this right now. You come at me with a feather, I'm gonna fucking knock you down. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm horny, I'm not dusty. Let's do this. Please don't look at me. Please don't look at me. Here's something else I'll tell you. I feel like one of the things that bonds us as humans, do you remember the first thing you thought was sexy when you were a young person? Do you remember? You're 12, you're 13. I bet that theme still exists in your pornography. Think about it. I'm 12 years old. Me and my best friend Shannon Partlow, we found her mom's romance novels. Tucked right in. Do you know? But now here's the thing. As an old woman, I still read the same romance novels, but I didn't know better at 12. Now I know better, because the books that I read are very old-fashioned, they're very chauvinistic, right? I realize very unfeminist. The men always treat the women like they own them, like they're property. And it is so hot. I know it's wrong. I know it's wrong. It's 2018, I'm a feminist. You know what I mean? We all want equality between the sexes, but let's be honest, everyone. Sex between equals? Boo. Am I right? That is no good. Fuck me like I make less money. Anyway, shut up. Don't lie to me. Don't lie to me. Come on. I want to be a feminist in the streets, but oppressed in the sheets. You know what I'm talking about? Come on. You're welcome. You'll think about it later. You are welcome. I'll say this to you. Another thing too, I watch a lot of pornography, and I also watch shows about jail, because it seems to go together well. Do you know what I mean? I'm not really scared of jail. I'm scared that I'm not going to make friends in prison. That scares me. It's not the loss of freedom, it's the loneliness. It'll get you. You know what I mean? Can you imagine being in prison for 3 years and not making any friends? You know what I mean? It's like moving to LA all over again. That was too real. That hurt my heart. It did hurt my heart. Of course, my heart always hurts. I should exercise. Anyway, I'm not a doctor. Here's the thing, all right? So I'm watching this show about jail, right? What I didn't know about jail is they take the shoelaces out of your shoes. Do you know why they do that? Do you? Yes, thank you, girls. So you don't hang yourself in your jail cell. A shoelace? I'm sorry. Are there supermodels going to prison that I wasn't aware of? Let me tell you this right now. If I can hang myself with a shoelace, I've reached my goal weight. Are you kidding me? Big day for Debra. Strip me naked, take some pictures. You know what I mean? But put a filter on it. I'm not a fucking weirdo. You know what I mean? A little Valencia, so soft. Here's something else. One thing that really sort of is where it's in all over the media right now, like people being offended by stuff that someone said something, an old tweet. I had a woman come up to me after a show and she's like, "Excuse me," and she's like, "You're not allowed to use the word slut," and I was like, "Whatever, slut." Anyway, I'm kidding. To be honest, I don't even use the word slut in my real life. I don't, but I could, everyone, because there is a rule in comedy that says I'm allowed to tell jokes about sluts because one of my sisters is a slut. So therefore, I don't know what you're thinking. That's not nice. But I have 3 sisters, so you don't know which one I'm talking about. You know what I mean? Unless you know my family, then you totally know who I'm talking about. It is Erica. Anyway, she's a whore. Thank you guys. You've been wonderful. We'll see you again. That was stupid good. Like, that was just ridiculous. I'm trying to figure out what the words were, what the secret words were. I think it was lie. Don't kid yourself, because I said kid. Anyway, you can tell how much fun I've had when I'm this sweaty. Do you know what I mean? You ever see me dry after a show? I bombed.
Ladies and gentlemen, coming to the stage next, make some noise for Mr. Gborie! Marissa, how long are we drinking?
11 seconds.
11 seconds, guys, count us down.
11, 10.
How many drinks did you have before you went on stage?
How many drinks did you have before you conducted this interview? What are you, the cops?
I've been having a tough year. I've been having a difficult year. I missed the Winter Olympics. And no one seemed, women's hockey was incredible. That wasn't my favorite, shut up. Nobody seems to be talking about it and bums me out. I miss the Winter Olympics because I think it's beautiful. I think that it's beautiful that once every 4 years, as Americans, we can all come together, no matter who you are or where you're from, and we can unite under racism towards other countries. And I'm not here advocating racism to you every day. Like, it feels good. Like, I said shit during the Winter Olympics that I would never say in real life, but I was just so excited because of patriotism. At one point, I was sitting in my room, it was like 4 o'clock in the morning, and I was watching the Japanese women's curling team. And they pushed the stone, and to no one in particular in my room, I just said out loud, "Yeah, they curl like that because they're sneaky." And I'm not that kind of person! But the Olympics just brought it out of me. I got so excited. It fucked me up because by the end I couldn't watch the Olympics anymore because by the end of it I started getting racist towards the black people and that's my line. And at one point the Nigerian bobsled team came on the screen. And once again, alone in my room to no one in particular, I just said, Nigerian bobsled team? Sounds like one of their scams. Not that kind of guy. I'm trying not to be racist anymore. I've been prejudiced most of my life, if I'll tell you the truth. But I feel like I've earned all my prejudices, so I don't feel as bad about it. Like, you gotta earn the reason that you're prejudiced. You gotta earn it. For example, for a good chunk of my life, I hated Muslims. And it's mostly just because my dad is one, and I don't like that guy that much. Like, if you'd have asked me when I was a little boy, if you'd have said, hey, David, do you think Muslims are terrorists? I'd have said, well, they certainly don't call you on your birthday. I had a weird... Wookie, I feel like we're friends. I can tell you what's been happening to me in the world. I had a weird New Year's because I was hanging out with one of my dumb friends, and I smoked crack. But don't judge me. I smoke crack because I'm a good person. Is crack one of the words? Because crackety crack crack. I smoked crack with my friend. I was in the room with him. We were hanging out. It was New Year's Eve. He was explaining to me how what he was doing was not smoking crack. It was freebasing. And if you're ever in a position where you have to defend your actions as not smoking crack, you're like 100% smoking crack. Like, that's what you're doing. Just own it. And I smoked crack with him, but it was like, have you ever smoked crack to prove a point? That's what happened to me. I did it because I'm a good friend. Like, I was watching him do it, and I was like, is this what you want to be doing? This is who you are now? This is who you are now? Give me that fucking pipe. Look at me, I'm Jason. Is this why you can't see your kids, Jason? Give me that fucking lighter. Look at me, I'm Jason. I'm shirking all my responsibility. And then I smoke crack, just like that. And it fucks me up now because I feel like, at least for the next few months, I have to identify as a crack smoker. Like, if somebody comes in this backyard and they say, raise your hand if you've smoked crack this year, I have to raise my hand, and it makes me feel bad because I don't feel like you guys will trust me about subjects because I'm a crack smoker. Like, I have other shit I want to talk to you. I want to talk to you about Donald Trump, who is a terrible man, but you know what he doesn't do? Smoke crack, dog. Like, I'm hitting these rocks. I'm gonna talk about Donald Trump, man. Fuck it. I think he's like the worst, obviously. But I do understand him. Like, I relate more to Donald Trump than I do to a lot of my heroes. Like, when I was younger, one of my biggest heroes in the world was always Jay-Z. He accrued generational wealth. In 15 years, he went from selling drugs to hanging out with the president, and he brought a basketball team to his hometown. Like, there's not a lot of Americans better than that. That's what this was built on. Yeah, that's what this was built on. That being said, I'm not like Jay-Z. I'm not a Jay-Z style person. Like, I'm a big dumb idiot who fails upwards. So if I look around the world and I see somebody like me who's just succeeding to be inspired by, then yeah, at this point, my biggest hero might be Trump. Because if he could be president, I could do anything. Does that mean, like, I can't be a doctor out here? He's not qualified. I also I'm just so much more like Trump than I am like Jay-Z. Like, here's a perfect example. When I was 12 years old, I put my penis in a bowl of oatmeal. Just to, like, see how it felt or whatever. And I am 100% sure Jay-Z has never done that. Donald Trump, on the other hand, it's like a 30% chance he's got his dick in some oatmeal right now. Look at his face. He's an oatmeal dicker from way back. We know our own. It's crazy because I told that joke over like 5 different states this summer. And every state I told it in, I was expecting somebody to come up to me and be like, hey, bro, Dick and oatmeal, me too. And what I learned over 5 states is that apparently me and Donald Trump are the last revolutionaries left. Nobody's doing that shit. I've been David Gborie, guys. Thank you so much. Besides this show, I don't really perform drunk a lot. It's really easy to lose control, so like maybe they got a little confused. Maybe now they think I'm a Trump supporter, but it was just the booze. It's not. That's not me. It's me, baby. You know me. I talk like I fell down. Like one time bad.
Are you guys ready for your last comic of the night? He's a legend. He really is, though. He's one of my favorites. He's closed out the show many a time. We haven't had him in a while. He always gets pretty drunk and has a pretty good time with us. Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for Mr. Chris Fairbanks. Marissa, how long are Chris and I drinking?
6 rules are broken, but I feel like y'all should drink for like 15 seconds.
Yeah, sure, 15 seconds. Count us down, everyone. Fucking this guy real hard. Okay, count us down for 15.
15.
14, 13, 12, 10, 9, 8.
How many drinks have you had tonight?
12.
Guys, do you ever have 3 or 4 drinks and then you're like, well, better not. Better not every more. They say this is the biggest fear in America. They tell me, or you hear that in America, public speaking is the #1 fear, which I'm like, come on. I think we all can agree right now that our biggest fear in America is getting tipped over while sitting in a porta potty. That's, if you think about it, I mean, holy cats. I know you can't tell by looking at me, but I've had a pretty rough life. Yeah, looks like I was born with a silver spoon in my ass, but I was from the beginning. I actually, as a baby, I blew out my knee taking my very first step. Actually, when I was a kid, my parents told me the ice cream truck only plays music when they're out of ice cream, so... Yeah. That is the sad... I'm okay now, though. I went to the barkeep. I'm from the 1820s, by the way. I got to the barkeep. I just came to warn you, townfolk, of a flood coming. Sarsaparilla. I don't know. I don't do a lot of characters. Or characters. I do some character work, actually. I do a lot of character work for Carity. You know, there's chids out there. Some of them, they're just children. They go their whole lives without seeing a good, solid character, which is why I started my Carity characters for children and chids. And we do a lot of important work, especially around the holidays. I don't hunt. I'm scared of hunting. I thought I'd talk about... hunting was the first reason I didn't like guns. I'm just like... one time I was given a gun and my knees just shook, mostly because I was wearing shorts. Anyway, the point is, I should be wearing pants. That's my point. Good night. No. I don't like guns. There's my point. We're back at it. I don't even like fishing. I don't like killing stuff, but one time I went fishing on a boat. It was right, you know where it is. I was pointing. Right over there. Got on the boat, you know, Catalina. So I get on this boat. There's a lot of professionals on it, and they give you a pole, and then there's bait on it in troughs like squid and sardines, live ones, like flopping around. These are already a live fish, and these are they're the bait. So you have to grab. It's a big hook, and you have to hook them in the head. So I was already like, I want a fish. Oh, grab a fish and murder it by hand. and I was, but after a while I was like, to have another one right in the eye, fucker. Like I was doing it. I was fishing. And then I cast my line, and the fish was still flopping. I'll never forget. And I'm not fucking kidding. I cast, and the fish, and a bird flew. A big bird, like an albatross or a seagull that just really took care of himself, swept down, swallowed it in midair, swallowed the bait. I saw it go down his neck, and then I'm just fucking standing there flying a fish like a kite, a bird fish, like flying a bird, reeling him in, like trying to save the bird. while crying, because my fishing just got elevated to hunting. I'm a hunter now. I got him real close. Now he's trying to get my fingers in the beak, and then the head fish man or whatever came and clipped the line. He flew off. Is he going to be okay? He's like, oh, fuck no. He just swallowed a big hook. You murdered him. So glad that I Ubered. I'm bad at parking is my point. I'm really drunk as the Dickens right now. Christmas drunk, actually. Do you ever, I've gotten to the point, yeah, of course we drink when we mention Christmas. I don't know the rules to your game. I want to be a father. I don't think I can. Is anyone here a doctor? When I climax, nothing comes out. There is a loud bang and a puff of smoke, and then a flag unfurls. It says jizz on it. I have better jokes than that. It's weird. It happened suddenly. I'm at the age where I should have him or her, and I'll just talk to, like, I'll be in a mall. I'm like, hey, kids, and they come to me, man. I'm like, fucking, and I know it's weird for me to talk about. And the parents will come by, why are you talking to my kid? It's like, fuck you. I'm not trying to molest your kid. He's a redhead. I just want to, and that's not fun. And Brad, I'm sorry to you. I'm sorry to a lot. I'm not talking about the adults. They redheads grow up to be beautiful grown-ups, but the kids, right? No thanks. He doesn't have eyebrows. Can we put him back? Just keep him in there. You guys, fucking alcohol is a weird beast. I bought a little cactus, and I was watering him a lot, and he died. And doesn't it suck to find out you're less nurturing than the desert? A friend of mine, or a guy I know, or somebody somewhere, got bit by a shark. Close. We're close. He got bit by a shark right in the torso. Maybe the worst part of your body, when it comes to shark bites, and people are always like, oh, it's either sink or swim, when it's that moment. With it, don't even try and swim. Sharks are better. If a shark's coming, be like, well, fuck it, and get underwater and keep your eyes open. Now you can see. See, I've thought about this. So if a shark's right there, you know what to do instinctively when there's a shark in front of you as a human, right? You wind up and you punch him. Where do you punch him? The gill, that's right. You punch them right in the fucking gills. You reach in there and you grab their brain, you pull it out, and you show it to their eyes at the last second. If you do this shit fast enough, their synapses will still be firing, and you'll be like, is that my brain? Too late, motherfucker. And then you shove it in his blowhole. I haven't done a lot of research. You kids having sex tonight? Fuck! You having sex tonight? Don't do it. Don't have it. If you do have it, wear a condom. That's all I'm here to say. I mean, I don't wear them, but one time I didn't, and I really remembered that I didn't, because I woke up and there's like a blemish on the, and I don't mean to be graphic, but we're all doctors. I woke up and there's a blister right at the tip of my penis there. I know, this end's fine. Anyway, I was like, holy cats, that's herpes. I got the herpes, 1 in 3 people. Guess my number got called, like at a shitty deli. And I was in a panic, I'll be honest. I was like, fuck that. And I went to the Planned Parenthood and I was like, help. And I had it out already. And they're like, yeah, can you leave? Right away, she looked at it. I think she's a doctor. And she was like, that's a burn. And you guys, I do drink too much, but I also am a good roommate. And so when I use the bathroom, to its full potential, I kind of light a match and I'll fumigate the room. And then where do you put a hot match when you're done with you throw it in the trash, you'll start a fire. Don't do that. You throw it in the toilet, and I happen to sit when I pee. Does anyone have a narrow urethra? Anyway, I sit so I just kind of spread my legs and threw the match exactly on my dick. And I was like, well, that's gonna burn for a second. Not a whole second. I was like, 1 Mississippi. The pain's subsiding. Who would I yell that to? Anyway, I forgot about all that until she was like, you burnt your dick, dummy. And then I was like, you know what? I do quite vividly remember burning my own penis. I'll just probably leave through the door I came in, which is what I'm gonna do now. Thanks, I'm Chris Fairbanks. You guys have been great.
Ladies and gentlemen, Chris Fairbanks!
I'm not endorsing drinking to be successful. God knows I'm not a success according, to my dad or neighbors, but that was a fun set because I was drunk. So think about that.
Ladies and gentlemen, this backyard, that has been your Brew Haha, the comedy show drinking game. One big last round of applause. Everybody have a good night. They laughed. They loved. They drank. They laughed. Here's the crazy thing about Brew Haha, the comedy show drinking game. Nothing's crazy. Here's the thing. We started it off, friends. Kelly Clarkson, you heard of her? Here's the thing about Brew Haha, the comedy show drinking game. Brought to you by Thrillist. And tonight, we fucking did a Thrillist presents Brew Haha, the comedy show drinking game, because Thrillist knows what's cool. And for some reason, they picked me, you know what I'm saying? Everybody makes mistakes.